Hi everyone, welcome to page 6 of the Build a Mini project over on Crafty Fairy Godmothers. As you are probably aware now, that it's not Dawn doing this video, it's me, Debbie. Right, you should start with your base page. If you've been building this, you'll know that this is the page that we've been using. You should have 8 of these. Right, and you're going to need some A4 cardstock, and you're also going to need some designer papers. For this page, I'm going to be using green and black. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get a piece of your designer paper. I think I'll use this one. And you're going to want your trimmer. I'm just going to trim off this edge bit here. Oh, it doesn't need to. I need to tear that piece. Just make sure I fold it, tear it off nicely. Right, you're going to need to cut from 12 by 12 piece, 5 inches. So you've got a piece that measures 5 by 12. Okay. Now, from that 5-inch piece, you're then going to cut down to 3 inches off the top. So you're going to have 2 pieces like that. Okay. Right, now what you're going to do is you're going to take a piece of A4 card and you're going to cut that piece at 5 1/4 by 6. Right, now you've done that, I'm just going to refer back to my now you're from the other 5-inch piece, you're going to then want to cut another piece at 4 inches. So you've got one at 4 by 5 and one at 3 by 5. And we're going to attach that piece to this piece of cardstock that we cut off earlier. So what I want to do, because I've been inking my edges of mine, I'm just going to go round and ink these edges. Okay, then I'm going to use, now for these, I'm going to use my ATG. It's entirely up to you what you use. Oh. This computer seems to be doing something. I don't want to install that thing. Yeah. Right. So we want to stick that piece to there, leaving a border. Like that. Right, now the next piece. From that piece, I want to take out a notch from the top of here. So you need a punch. Let's see. I'll use got my large 3-inch. Now what I'm going to do, you don't have to do this, you can eyeball it if you want, but I like to mark mine just so I know where the centre is. So there, I'm going to mark it about there, and I'm going to put that inside, and I'm not going to take it all the way. I'm just going to take a little notch from there. I think that's probably about right, a bit more. Judge. And then, oh, that's quite hard to do that. Try that again. Because I'm going through two thicknesses. Some punches will do it and some won't. There we go. I just didn't push hard enough. Right, and I'm just going to ink that edge there. Okay, that's that one done. Right, let's see what's next. Right, now what you want to do is get your base page, and this 3-inch piece you've cut here, you're going to stick that to the top of the page like that. So get your 3-inch piece, just going to glue that down, ink that and then glue it in place. So that way. Like that. And that sticks on the inside of the page, right to the top, almost the top. It's centered. Make sure you've got it up the right way and stick that down. And then we're going to stick this, is going to go over the top like that, but to the bottom. Right, so we're going to put some wet glue. Don't use tape for this because it's going to be a usable pocket, so we're going to put wet glue around all the edges. And the bottom. And then we're going to stick that so that it butts up against the edge of your binding strip. So right at the bottom, and then stick that down. Like that. Put that to one side to dry. Give that one last push down. Right, next one. You're going to another piece of cardstock, piece you had before, and you're going to cut this piece at 5 1/4 by 4 1/4. So that's 5 1/4 by 4 1/4. Okay. Then you're going to cut your last piece of 5-inch wide, and you're going to cut that down to 4 inches. So this is what we're going to use to cover this piece here. Right, so again, ink. You don't have to ink yours. It's up to you what you do with it. Make sure I've got it patterned around the right way. It's going on there like that. So now ATG. And that sticks over the top. Like that. Then you're going to do exactly the same as you did before. So you want to find the centre. Just make sure I've got the papers up the right way. It's going to be this top here. So I'm just going to flip it over. And I'm going to mark the centre, which is roughly there. Punch. Oh, I need to mark it a little bit higher because I can't see it properly. So punch in, find where I'm going to mark. In fact, the best thing to do, if you get the piece that you, what did I do with it? Did I throw it away? Oh, heck. Right, so, and I've stuck that down. If you keep the little piece that you've got out from the last one, you can actually draw around it so you know exactly where it's going. And I can't find mine because it went in the bin. No, can't find it. Right, so just going to judge. That's probably about there. So oh, come on. Second time. Should cut through. There we go. Right, same as before. Ink it. Flip over. Glue. Then that sticks to the bottom. And then again, line it up. So then you have your 3 pockets. Give it a good burnish down because we want that glue to stick nicely. There we are. Right, next. There we have our pockets. And that's not stuck down properly. Why? I don't know. So I'm just going to put some glue, a bit more glue under there. Didn't put enough pressure on it, I don't think. There. There we go. Right. That's our pockets in place. Now, put that to one side. Now, you're going to want another using the last of the strip from last week's page, cut a piece measuring 4 1/4 by 6 inches. Not quite sure what that means, so I'm going to use another piece of cardstock here. Put that to one side. So cardstock 4 1/4 by 6 inches. And designer paper. Now, next one I'm going to use, I think I'm going to go for the black. So, let's fold over this edge bit. Get rid of this. It's just, I think I'm going to bring the camera out a little bit more, the angle. Let's have a look. Controls. bring it out just a bit. There we go. Right. This needs to be cut at 4 inches. And then I want to cut 2 pieces, 4 by 5 3/4. So cut that 5 3/4, and the same with this piece. Just put that strip to one side. Now get my piece of card. And then I need to ink the edges. This is for the mat, one of the mats that go into the pocket. I mean, like, this is the first time I've made this, so bear with me. I'm just following Naomi, who designed the this album. I'm just following her instructions, her picture instructions, and turning it into a video tutorial. So both sides. Same thing. I'm hoping my tape's going to last me and get this page finished. Place that on there. Now, if you want to, you could punch a hole in the top, but I'm not going to bother. So put that to one side. Right. Actually, she wants me to show you it in, so that's how it will look. Pop that inside there, like that. Okay. I'm obviously not putting enough pressure down on these. They should be sticking. Make sure you put plenty of glue down in your pockets, because they are going to take a bit of pressure with tags moving in and out. So make sure you've got plenty of glue on those. Right. Now you're going to want another piece of cardstock, and this time you're going to flip it so it's long ways, and you're going to cut it at 4 3/4. Sorry, 4 1/4. Go back to your second sheet of oval. Right, hang on, no. Use the other sheet that you have. This one, this is what we want. So it's 4 1/4 by 4. Okay. And then designer paper, and you're going to want to cut the same strip, 4 inches, and then cut that down to 3 3/4. And you're going to want 2. And you're going to use those 2 pieces to cover this mat. So, ATG. And the same on the other side. Like that. And then that mat fits inside that pocket. Like that. Okay. Straighten him up a bit. Looks a bit tidier. Now, another piece of A4 cardstock. Move that bits out of the way. And you're going to want to cut this piece at 4.5 by 8. So 4.5 by 8. Up, next piece. Right, so now you're going to score boards. And you're going to score 1/2 inch all the way around on 3 sides. So half, flip it round, half, and then half again. I'm going to do that on the other side as well, only because I like to do that. So you've scored, I don't know if you can pick that up just a little bit, half an inch all the way around on 3 sides. Right, next thing you want to do is you're going to taper your corners. Like that, so you've got the 1/2 inches around that side. Now we're going to fold these over, burnish them down. Now you can add tape to these because these are going to stick down to form a pocket. So you can add tape or you can add glue, it's entirely up to you. Right, now another piece. You've got your last piece of 4 by 12. So we are now going to cut that down to 6 3/4. by 3 3/4. Okay. Whoops. Now, flip that over, and I'm going to stick this piece, it's going to be stick onto there. So, ink around the edge. Whoop. Get your tape or your glue, whatever method you're using. And I'm going to stick that on there. Like that. And then I'm going to mark again on the back. I want to find the centre. And that is roughly there. Just mark. Punch. Again, find the centre. Punch it, and then again, second time. Actually, I'm going to try and flip this over. It's not. There we go. Oh, brilliant, some of these punches. So I'm just going to take that off with the scissors. Actually, craft knife would probably have been better. There we go. Right, then I'm going to ink that edge. There we are. Right. Now, piece of cardstock. You're going to cut 6.5 by 4. And then you want to design a paper. Now I've used black on there. I'm going to go for a different green. I'm going to go for this one. And I'm going to cut 2 pieces at 6.25 by 3 3/4. Now how can I do that on there? Yeah. Right, so take that off of there. 6.25 I wanted to use. Right, so I'm going to cut this down to 6.25. And then I'm going to cut it at, and I want 2 at 3 3/4. And then I want another piece that measures 6. Oh, right, I can't use that piece because I've got to do 3 the same size. So, all right, I'm going to use a different piece. So 6, I'm going to cut this piece at 6 3/4, the larger the bit first. and I'm going to cut that down to 4.5, and then this is then going to be cut down to 6.25, and then I'm going to cut these at two pieces at 3.75. There we go. So that's that done. Right, now then, I'm going to want this page here. Now that is supposed to be sticking on there. Wish I'd known it was going to be around that way. Right, so ink around my edges. And that's going to stick on here. Now I'm going to do it. See, I'm just wondering why that's not going to close properly. I don't quite understand why that's not closing properly. Right, I'm just going over. Right. Now that's not going to close, and we've got to put a pocket on there as well. So what I'm going to do before I stick that down, I'm going to score. I'm going to flip that round, and I'm going to score. I'm going to come in. So it's scored at 5. I'm going to come in 1/8 and score again. And then I'm just going to fold that back on that new score line. It's just going to give it a little bit of a gusset there. So that's going to make that easier to close up over those. See, it lies a bit flatter. Right. So now the pocket's going to be going on. As I say, guys, I'm following Naomi's picture tutorial. So the pocket's going to be going on this side here. So I'm going to bring this cardstock up to this edge here. It looks like, have I missed something? Just going to go back a minute, because it looks like there's already been yeah, it looks like there was. I couldn't see it on the tutorial, but we're going to what I'm going to do is I'm going to score it a little bit more further in. It looks like Naomi did do that, but I couldn't see it on the description. So I'm going to, when I scored that at 1/8 in from the 5, I'm going to come in a little bit more, and I'm going to do 1/4 inch there. just makes that gusset a little bit bigger. Just trying to now to fold it. That's better. There we go. Right. Then we want to get our pocket. Now I'm going to use glue, and I'm going to taper. I like to taper these edges as well. So I'm going to taper these, and I'm going to add glue. I can unblock the end. To these flaps. And then that's going to stick. Just cover the edge of the paper. Like that. Press it down. I'm flicking through. Right, that's it. I'm doing that now. I'm going to use my bone folder to stick that down. Get the good burnish down. And that's so that when you close that over, because you've got that gusset there, it's not going to get caught on anything. Gives it plenty of room. Right, next page. Right. Now we're going to need, this is the photo mat. It's going to go in, slip inside here. Now we know that this is 4 inches by 6.5. So we're going to want to cut our mats that go on top of here. In fact, I think they could be done, instead of cutting them at 3 3/4, I'd probably cut them at 4. No, at 3 1/8. Right, so they're both going to be stuck on the back of there, so I'm going to do that now. There we go, and that's going to be one. Sticks that on that one. And you're going to repeat the same for the other side. It goes on there. And that's your photo mat. That's then going to slip inside there. Right. now you're going to want another piece of designer paper, and we're going to use that to cover that back piece there. So you measure your back strip. I'm going to find my ruler, and that is 4 3/4 by 7. So I'm going to cut my strip at 6 3/4 by 4.5. 6 3/4 by 4.5. Ink around the edges again. There. And that sticks down. Make sure I've got the paper spun the right way. That sticks down on there like that. Okay. Now we want to do our back piece. Choose which papers, and I think I'm going to use this one that I used on the front. So I'm going to measure mine. I'm going to take it just to, what I do, I measure mine and I take it to the outside edge, the inside edge of where the binding is going to go. So right on that side, and that measures 5.5. So I'm going to cut my paper at 5 1/4 by 6 3/4. So by 5. That was 5 1/4. I measured that, wasn't it? We'll just double check. +1/8. There we are. This is nearly coming to an end, so we're just going to ink around this edge just to take that white starkness away from the edge of the paper. That's all I'm doing this for. Okay guys, and I think that is it. Let's check that I'm going to put that on around the right way. Yeah. There we have. I think that's it now. Yep. There we have page 6. So we've got our pocket there, and we've got our 2 pockets on that page. Right, I hope you found that okay. I mean, it's not as good as Dawn does, but I hope you can understand it okay, guys. Right, thanks for joining me. Bye.